Claude, so close to escaping. His name was Kerben. His friend's sword couldn't save him.
Pray to you for my seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive. Question him. Someone has been hunting your kind, and Alexander fancies himself the only Godwoken worthy of ascending. As far as we know, you may even be the last still alive. If Alexander is guilty, he'll face justice. Yes, we certainly had better, but the ship won't move.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
This is barbarous magic.
Expedient magic, actually. The ship is made of live wood. It has the spirit of an elven ancestor tree within it. It seems Dallis has found a way to bind that spirit to her. That means only she can control it, unless we can find a way to break the bond.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they? Hopefully, you'll never have to find out.
Ah, there you are. High time to stop gallivanting and resume our journey together, wouldn't you say? Off we go, then.
You made it, Godwoken. Good. Not all of us did, though. The sooner we leave this island behind us, the better.
Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive. That's right, Godwoken. Another seeker is dead, so you might live long enough to face your destiny. I hope Malady is right about you.
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead. Nothing. The ship is live wood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
She sighs.
I know. Just be careful. Sendelius, pray to you for my seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation. Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. There's an odd mark on the side of the figurehead. Battle damage, weather staining. It almost looks like a pattern, however. Searing pain races up your arm. The ship senses you. It's angry. The pain intensifies. It's spreading past your arm, across your chest. Your lungs feel like they're on fire.
Pray that they may find rest.
Void Slayer, Worm Killer, Godwoken. You have many names. Let's add ship's captain to the list once we get this thing moving, shall we? I won't let the fallen be forgotten. I'd be no better than Dallis, no better than Alexandar, If I just tossed their remains into the sea. To think that whelp spawned from greatness. He deserves no better fate than his silent monks. All this blood. Children ripped from families. Seekers ripped from me. He's down there now, guarded like some precious jewel, rather than leashed and flogged like the dog he is. Amazing to think those of us in the Order once assumed the gods were with him, and only him. That was before we found the others. The Seekers were once part of the Order, my friend. When Lucian died, we waited. Yet Alexander never rose to divinity. And then we started to find more like him. More Godwoken. And we weren't the only ones looking. A killer had marked them too. The Seekers were born. We found Godwoken, housed them, fed them. I loved them like family. I was naive. But let's leave the past in the past and reach for what's ahead. She's not exactly a Seeker. She's not exactly an elf either. Half demon, Meister Siva says, and I don't doubt it. I don't know how Siva came to know her, but Malady's a proper ally. She's not easy to like, but there are times I admire her coldness.
Gareth fingers the hilt of his blade. He stares at nothing in particular before turning his gaze back to you.
Driftwood, of course. Little fishing village. Not very welcoming, but you'll brighten it up, I'm sure. Got family near there. Not the adventuring types, for the best. Meister Siva's there too. My leader. Our leader. She held the Seekers together when we had every reason to fall apart.
Gareth pauses, then shakes his head.
A mistake was made. That's all I have to say on the matter. Think of her as a teacher. The powers of the Seven stir in you. She'll reveal them to you. Show you how to manipulate them. Keep Lucian close, Godwoken.
Getting it done, come hell or high water. Likely both, eh?
Here you stand. This is Dallis's ship, but she can't have been the only one who could get it moving. It'd be too risky, and Dallis is anything but careless. There's a way to move this ship on board, I'm sure of it. You'd be surprised. A ship like this holds many secrets. Hopefully you can discover some these Seekers might have missed. The figurehead has certainly caused a commotion lately. But then again, so have the doors downstairs. Everywhere you look, a hunk of wood looking to incinerate or stymie you. Dying to hear them. Meister Siva is one of a rare breed. She'd do anything in the name of a cause, and her cause happens to be you. She's desperate to meet a living Godwoken. She'll be exceedingly pleased we're en route. You'd better not leave her waiting. She's a bit particular. She's the founder of these Seekers, and she's powerful. That means something when I say it. Your kind can reach astounding heights. Meister Siva can help you do just that. A place called Driftwood hosts a putrid fish, putrid dwarves, and Meister Siva herself. You'll probably find it quite comfortable.
We have to find a way to get this ship moving. We can't let the Magisters catch up with us. We're too weak to fight them again.
The silent monk leans from one foot to the other. He seems eager to move. The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes.
Nice to meet another so-called Godwoken.
An amused expression crinkles the crow's feet at Iffin's greying temples. His face looks a lot older than the bright green eyes gazing out.
I'm gonna hunt down my old pack leader and find some answers. The lone wolves have been tasked with killing Godwoken. I'm Godwoken, and a lone wolf. That's a say. On the way there, I could use someone to watch my back. And it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. Want to team up? Like I said, suit yourself. If you change your mind, you know where I am.
I must say, you may not be an eternal, but you are certainly not as temporary as many of your fellows. You have... Personally, I am just glad that I do not have to walk back to Reaper's Coast. Wind travel may be primitive, but it is at least efficient. Livewood? You have taken a dead elf and carved it into a pleasure yacht? I knew you people were barbarians. I had no idea you were sadists, too. Well, no matter. Whatever gets me to Reaper's Coast quickly. I have an excavation site to explore. The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people have been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again. Well, you see, I have a rather pressing engagement at the Black...
The skeleton breaks off mid-sentence as he notices your hand. He pulls out a notebook, flicking through it, running a finger down the pages.
Physical contact, voice lowered, coy looks. Good heavens, is this a mating ritual? Oh, my pardons. I fear I'm rather unaccustomed to your... customs. Although perhaps you would be interested in a companion of another sort. I need to travel to the Black Pit's oil field, near Reaper's Coast. But my attempts at staying under the cover have not gone well to date. Given how well you handled yourself in Fort Joy, I rather think you could be of use. And I am certainly useful to you. So, how about it? I travel with you and aid you in your various chores and tasks, while you help me to remain incognito. Very well. Let's be off.
Sweet divine. Oh.
There's something to these doors I'm not seeing. But what?
Hey! You're here! Pretty nice boat, eh? We got an upgrade. There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallis's room. Maybe you...
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice it's unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. A face tortured and tormented, a six-sided shape carved upon its forehead. The face vanishes. The anguished face appears, then vanishes. The door remains closed. The door remains unmarked. The door remains closed. It seems you need more than a password to open it.
Speak to me if you're looking for hired help. I've got good fighters of every stripe. So, what'll it be?
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice it's unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. A face tortured and tormented, a six-sided shape carved upon its forehead. The face vanishes. The word goes unheeded. You will need more than a password to enter, it seems.
We've braved the joy, and I lust for further adventure. What say you? Shall we continue our journey together?
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side, for the moment.
I ought to chain you up like your lot did to me.
A young woman shifts her weight between her feet, as though swaying her hips to an imaginary beat. Her eyes roll up to meet yours, their great black pupils, greater and blacker than seem natural, expanding further as they take you in. She smiles, and the worry melts from her face.
Hey, it's you. They told me you'd mosey your way down here eventually. Malady, the Seekers. They said you and I had something in common. That we're... well, we're... Is it true? You're like me. Well, kind of. You know about my, situation, right? Right. Well, I'm a host. Always have been, probably always will be. I'm never alone in my head. Spirits visit, wanderers, sprites, demons, ghouls, disembodied mystics. You name it, I've chatted with it behind my own two eyes. I'm only hosting one right now, though, and it's a real piece of work. Malady said I should have met one of the gods when I had my vision in the Hall of Echoes, but I didn't. I met it. I know. It's really... special. I don't know what this thing is, but I'm gonna get it the hell out of my head and make it sorry it ever came knocking. What's your deal? Justice, huh? I can get behind that. You know, I never was much of a solo artist. Want to find out what comes next, you know, together? Sure, whatever suits you. Probably better for you in the end anyway. I'm not always myself, and sometimes not myself is a bit, unpredictable. Anyway, see you around.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
I wish. No, the Magisters kept me chained to the bulkhead. Arms held above me head, feet barely able to touch the deck. Now my joints are paying the price. No, they had us down below, chained up in the dark. But the Reds were up to something in here. Maybe it was just the lack of food and rest playing tricks, but I swear I heard chanting and horrible moaning coming from here. But when we broke free, it was empty. Or a big bloody target on our backs. We took their leader and their flagship. The hammer won't stand for that. She'll be hunting for us.
The Seeker throws a toxic look at the imprisoned Magister.
Hardly. She's just some deckhand. If it were up to me, I'd tie her to the main mast and use her for arrow practice. But Malady wants her alive for now. Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just don't make me regret it.
My, the giant takes notice of its charges. Ask away, chief.
Red until the cage is locked again.
A giant body, but no giant brain, eh, Quercus? Surely, even the tall folk know that Rivellon was bare before the great acorn fell from above and seeded the Earwood, covering this land in beautiful, perfect forests. Beautiful and perfect until the giant races, no offense, realized they could use it to build their houses and fuel their fires. They carved the Earwood up, and the forests shrank and shrank. None of the original wood remains. But someday, the great acorn will fall again. The forests will be reborn, and the giant races will be wiped from this world. Oh, Quercus, it wants answers. As if it is the first creature to ponder the big questions of the universe. What tree did the great acorn fall? Some questions have no answer. The great acorn will come. It will destroy the world, and squirrels will reign supreme forever. Indeed, Quercus.
A young Magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions, dwarf! Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. There's a shift in the Magister's expression, a flicker of doubt. Then...
I'm a good Magister, loyal, but Dallis, Something about her has changed. She's toying with dark magic, like a common sorcerer. She used to sing to the ship. It let her control it. She had this old book of hymns and incantations. It was only ever in her hands, or else locked away in her cabin at the stern.
The Magister leans in and whispers urgently.
If you ever find yourself face to face with Magisters, you tell them I was tortured. I didn't betray the cause, not until I was near death. Understand? Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the divine. All right. Don't harm him. I'll be watching.
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope. The gem sits heavily in your pouch.
You spoke, didn't you? Ha! I knew you would eventually.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate.
Too late for that now, Red. The bell can't be unrung.
The door remains unmarked. The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password. Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
Just one more moment, please.
He clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap and turns his full attention to you.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks? I'm a prisoner, of course. Do you think I'd be sitting here calmly if I was a Magister holdout? That infernal Dallis woman left me trapped here, too weak to escape. It seems I'm in your debt.
Dallis took a particular interest in me and my skills. I'm an expert in healing, crafting, and more arcane practices. She kept me here to do her bidding. Until you took her flagship from right under her nose, it seems. I've offered my services for gold in the past, yes. But my labors for Dallis were far from voluntary.
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath, the skin is withered and discolored, as if it were magically decayed.
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and I've ruined them in the process. Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics, meddle with the laws of nature. All the sorts of things power-hungry despots love to do. She had me enchant a dead cat over there, so it would seem alive.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole time.
That damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is a blur. Trust me, convenient is the last word I'd use to describe the experience. Pass me that copper wire there, would you?
He takes the copper with a nod of gratitude. His sleeve slips back, above his elbow. In its crook, you see part of a tattoo.
Perhaps my memory will come back with time. But for now, I'm afraid there's little more I can add. I'm doing my utmost to be civil to you, under rather trying circumstances. Why must you push me like this? I'm more than a sum of my parts friend indeed. But I fear you might have come to the wrong calculation about me.
How about if this one was enslaved by Dallis, then he could still be under her thrall?
Let the creature live. He is hardly worth our time.
Anyone who faced enslavement deserves our sympathy, not our blades. Leave him.
He takes your hand in his gauntlet-clad fist and shakes it. There's a lot more power in his grip than his slender frame would suggest.
Call me Tarquin, and consider me at your service. I must admit, despite what she did to me, I can't help but admire her a little. The woman is unwavering. She will break before she bends. So if you should cross paths again, be sure to leave her broken. You will not get another chance. No! This piece is far beyond what those wretches could muster. This is something of my own design, to meet my own requirements. The Magisters left me weakened, but this will help give me the strength to carry on my work. We're barely acquainted. Why should I tell you anything personal? Well, as you put it like that, let's not. There's likely not a soul aboard this ship without secrets they'd rather keep hidden. Why should I face more scrutiny than the rest? Well, pardon me if I don't put too much stock in your feelings. Knowledge, facts, discerning, educated opinions. That's where I put my faith in.
A pyramid? What on Revlon is this for?
A teleporter pyramid. Only one way to find out if it works. Try using it.
Is this? Whatever it is, it appears to be written in verse.
I've spotted something.
back as I stalk my prey. My tail rattles like a snake's. I suffer. Don't touch me. My very being is a curse. Was Tarquin that wretch, that rat? I ate an ill mouse and passed in my sleep, and the brooding boar brought me back on a lark. Me miserable. Mumsy? Is she here? Mumsy, where are you? 'Tis I, Booply Bear. I am quite changed, but don't be frightened. You? She sent you?
The cat begins to purr and rub itself on your ankles.
Any friend to Mumsy is a friend to me. I believe the song is around here somewhere. Oh, I don't know. In the direction of over there.
The cat purrs, an eerie clicking sound.
Tell Mumsy to come back soon. Now that I am but bone, I'm too light to trip the moving door. I'm sure there's a rat back there.
Oh, Quirkus, don't be like that. I was looking at his bone structure for academic purposes. There's nothing to be jealous of.
What's this? Oh, I found something.
Aye, the giant.
You can put a price on the warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll win you.
Were those guards or victims?
Both, I fear.
Another pyramid.